Oh, look at that gentleman. Isn't that nice? Super nice. Give it up.
And those heels too, girl. Hey! Woo! Those are sexy. Woo!
I'm not good with big, stiff black things. And I'm old. And right-handed. Why are all these bitches have this on the left? Excuse me while I rearrange the furniture. Told you.
You know, it's heavy. You got it.
So we are here tonight to celebrate Melissa's 33rd birthday. I remember my 30s. I call it the wet years.
What'd you say to me?
Did you miss that?
I missed it. I swear to God.
I said I remember my 30s. I call them my wet years. But I'm here to let Melissa know to not fear getting older. I mean, look at me. I'm 61. I didn't say 61. I'm 61. Isn't that right, little dog?
Yes, ma'am.
And she should not worry about getting old. And you look at Melissa, and you really can't tell a lot about Melissa by looking at her. But when I was that age, well, first of all, when I was 33, I already had quit drinking for 10 years. Because when I drank, my legs became peanut butter and they were easy to spread. And I was smoking 2 packs a day, and people could tell what I did for a living by just looking at me. I mean, okay, take a poll. How many of you thought I was a school teacher? Okay. How many of you thought I was a secretary? Okay, yeah. See, I was a secretary for years. But when I was in my early 30s and I was single, I used to go to this country western bar in California called the Mule Lip Saloon. And I would go in with little, denim skirt on and a low-cut top and boots, and my hair would be up, and I had all this makeup on, and I'd be dancing with this hot smoking cowboy. And he'd say, "So what are you, a secretary?" I'm like, "Do I have a typewriter strapped to my ass? Do I smell like whiteout? Is that what it is?" They never said, "Are you an exotic dancer? Do you strip?" Because I could have, I wanted to. And I worked as a secretary for years, and I usually got the job I wanted until they asked for someone with a nice telephone voice. I never got those jobs because of this squeakiness that I have, but I worked in the construction industry for years, and I always worked for top management. And I mean, these poor bastards had no idea who was sitting behind that desk. They thought I was this little, mousy, quiet thing. Well, now when I smoked, I only weighed 90 pounds when I quit smoking. So, 90 pounds, I know. That was I quit smoking in 1995. It's just been 23 years. And I don't weigh 90 pounds anymore. Anyway, so, they thought I was this quiet little thing that came from this wonderful, all-American, wholesome family.
Yeah.
Well, there's a theory that a lot of us comedians, not all, but some of us come from terrible childhoods, and that we make up for that by doing this. And I fall in that category. My father drank himself to death by the time I was 4. My mother died right before Christmas when I was 15. Some people do anything not to buy you a present. So in her honor, I have her ashes in the elf on a shelf. That's where I keep her. And you know, back in the day, we talked a lot about dysfunctional families. Now, I don't hear that term much anymore, but I made a little list. So you could maybe see if you came from a dysfunctional family. So number one is you think that moving from one apartment to another apartment is normal if it's in the middle of the night. Your father and your uncle are the same person. You realize at one point in your young life you've had sex with more relatives than non-relatives? You have a sneaking suspicion that your dog Sparky isn't the only thing buried in the backyard. And you can't ever explain why you break into a cold sweat every time you hear the phrase, "Who's your daddy?" I question God sometimes about all the crap that I went through, and I like to think that God has a good sense of humor. I mean, He gave me and Mike Tyson the same voice. Now, He gave Mike a couple of things, okay, 3, that He didn't give me. One is, Mike got the lisp. Can you imagine looking like this and sounding like this and having a speech impediment? Oh my God. And the other thing He gave Mike that I didn't get is apparently an uncontrollable urge to have sex with women. Because, you know, he was prosecuted for rape and spent some time in prison. Now, I love women. But, I don't have any problem with lesbians even. I have some lesbian friends. But I don't even like tuna. And of course, the third thing that Mike got was the ability to pee outside without getting his shoes wet. I assume. But Melissa, you know, darling, you have your whole life ahead of you. And you are, and I have to word this right. You are about the best looking thing with the initials MF I have ever seen. And I don't know if y'all know, but Melissa's engaged. And I have a feeling that they are not waiting for the wedding night.
We are.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, last week he said so.
Oh, okay.
Born again virgin.
And I have a feeling that Melissa has figured out that there are parts of her body that have so much power, they're almost majestic. And I'm sure Melissa is one of those women that either shave or wax her woman's goods to make them more appealing to her man. And she does have tattoos. So we don't know what those clothes are covering as far as tattoos. Now she's laughing. Am I hitting a little too close to home, darling?
I have the explicit one.
And see, that's the difference between someone her age and someone my age. Because when I want Her Majesty to be more appealing, I just do her hair. You know, sometimes there's a little comb over, a little barrette. Some ribbons, you know. There was that one time when she was sporting pigtails, but she was not amused. 30 years feels about your body the way my husband does about my body after all these years. He loves my body, even though I can lay in bed and feel myself wrinkling. But we have become a little concerned lately. I'll just wait till you're done. We have been a little concerned lately. There seems to be some global warming going on, a possible drought. Oh no, I know. Even with an outside stimulus plan, we've had to import some fluid from Kentucky. Well, it says KY on the box. But I gotta tell you, back in the day, Her Majesty had way more power than she does now. Back in the late 70s and early 80s, we were running sort of a bed and breakfast. She got him into bed and I had to make him breakfast.
Horrible deal.
But you know, she can still get that old goat into bed in the morning and I tell him, make your own goddamn breakfast. And we don't want to forget about the princesses. I mean, men love breasts. Big breasts, little breasts, doesn't matter. Which I think is why later in life, they grow their own. Right? But life does change, Melissa, and it's not all bad. I have to tell you, at this age, I no longer worry about too much about what other people think of me. It's all about what I think of me. And even with all the crap that I have walked through and continue to walk through, I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin. God, what a blessing. And I know, some of you know, some of you don't, my husband of 27 years is totally disabled. And I am his full-time caregiver, which means we use a lot of rubber gloves at home and not in a fun way. And I get to wash his junk. Lucky me. But look, here I am, 61 years old, trying to live life to the fullest, trying to make you laugh and doing a pretty good job of it, I think. And please remember, growing old is a privilege not given to all. So happy birthday, Melissa. Thank you. It was such an honor to be a part of this for you, and I love you. Good night.